If you're someone out there and you've made it this part of the process, congrats. Let me tell you guys, it's going to be well worth it. With that being said, I want to give you guys a high-level rundown on a couple of mistakes that I've made during the reassembly process on the LS 6.0. Let's dive in. When it comes to the knock sensor wiring harness, one of the mistakes I've made a few times is incorrectly installing the harness. You want to make sure that you have the short end in the front and the long end in the rear so that the harness is running out the back. There was a few times where I didn't realize it at the time, but I had installed it backwards. So when I went to plug in the knock sensor harness, I was short. I was short big time, and I had to disassemble everything, and it was really frustrating, and actually was more annoying than anything else. So definitely double check that wiring harness. When it comes to torquing down the valley cover, there are torque specs online. I'll be completely honest with you guys. When I've worked in this engine bay, I do a crisscross pattern. I snug everything down, give it an extra, crank, hand tighten it, and I've never run into any issues. It works for me. I'm sure it's going to work for you. If some of you guys out there who feel the need to look up these specs online, go for it. So that's up to you. Another one of the mistakes I have made is when it comes to these lines right here. So pay close attention to how these lines are running. See this line right here, how it goes underneath the fuel line. There's been a couple times where I've accidentally installed this line over top. The PCV valve right here, the hose I should say, look how it's running, comes over top of the fuel line right here. But this hose right here, I've made the mistake of having it on the outside a few times. So make sure again that is correct. When it comes to installing the fuel injector clips, I do not install the safety clips. I've never had an issue. They're really annoying to get in. They're really annoying to get out. And the event that you would need to go back into this engine, it's really annoying to take those out. So I don't reinstall them. I've done that on both my H2s. Never run into an issue. But again, that's going to be your decision if you want to pop in all those clips. With that being said, you definitely want to double check that all your harnesses are plugged back in. The one harness, for whatever reason, the mass airflow sensor harness, for some reason, there's been a couple times where I have forgot to plug that back in. So if that is disconnected, make sure that is plugged back in. What else? When installing where am I going with this? When installing the fuel rail back in, I actually recommend take some WD-40 and put WD-40 around the O-rings on the fuel injectors. It'll make it slide in a lot easier on both sides. You've got 4 on each side, and you just want to rock it back and forth, and you'd be surprised just by putting some WD-40. It could save you a lot of headaches. And I recommend doing that as well, because the last thing you want to happen in this step is have an O-ring slip off, and then you've got a misfire, and you're like, why do I have a misfire? So again, you want to make sure those fuel injectors are snugged down all the way on both sides. You may think that you've got it pushed all the way down, and then you start rocking it back and forth, putting pressure on the sides, and then it slips in further. Truth be told, I have gotten pretty aggressive with that fuel line, pressing down to get it to properly seat. When installing this right here, you want to make sure that this rubber is around the throttle intake right here correctly. I have seen in the past what will happen is the actual rubber right here on this piece will fold inwards. It'll crimp up, and it won't actually seal around this properly. So that's something you want to make sure that it's done. But take your time. If it's your first time reassembling this process. There's no rush. Double check your harnesses. Truth be told, everything should go relatively smooth. Something just came to mind is these wires. When I do reinstall them, I'll grab them like this. You want to actually put, it's called dielectric grease, inside these on both, up here and down here inside these boots, and that'll help them slide on a little easier. But you definitely want to make sure that these are pushed up all the way. It'll make like a popping sound, like a plop or a pop, whatever you want to call it. But I'll grab them and I will get aggressive with those, and don't feel like you're going to break anything you're not, and just really grab them, push them upwards. There's been a couple times where I have heard these hoses, they make the popping sound. You're like, oh, it's on, and it actually wasn't on. Or you may say, oh, it slid right on, and then I start the vehicle up and I'm like, hey, I've got a misfire, and then I've double checked them. And what do you know? It's like, oh, hey, that wasn't all the way up there. So definitely put your hand in all these. I'd actually go through them twice to make sure that they are properly seated on the coil packs. In regards to the coil packs, testing those, we're going to come back to those later in the process. For now, the engine bay is more or less complete. We will be coming to back to those coil packs to make sure that they are all working correctly, probably within the next episode or two. From here, again, to get your H2 back up to speed, we definitely are going to have to get all our fluids changed, front diff, rear diff. I'm going to go more into this in the next video. Again, congrats on making it this far in the process. That's incredible.